Hey Pisces, welcome to Tourmaline Tarot. We're going to do your weekly read and see what's going on. So, let's check it out here. What do we got going on? Come here, babies. It's like, I don't want to talk right now. Avoidance and like not wanting to deal with stuff has been a theme. I'm not saying you are, but it's like, please don't point everything out that I already know. Let's get a good shuffle for Pisces. 1, 2. No, still wasn't it. Give me one really good one. One good, satisfying. There it is. Okay. So, as it lies, you're just hoping time will move things along for you. Because you have 3 of Swords, Fool reversed, and Wheel of Fortune. Something didn't go the way you wanted it to, potentially. Or some kind of start was kind of denied, or it wasn't what you had in mind. Now, we are talking about a week, so, like, it's hard to go full 3 of Swords in 1 week. You know what I mean? Like, you could have just gotten clarity about something that just kind of said, like, no, we can't move ahead right now. And in some way, maybe you're waiting for this Wheel of Fortune card to turn, where you're just like, come on, Wheel of Fortune. Like, you're waiting for the time to do it for you in some way. Or you're like, well, if I can't go, universe is going to have to for me. Not saying force in the hand, but it's like, everything turns. Everything changes. And you could be kind of relying on that. Queen of Wands, reverse. There's some action, and my voice is clamming up, that was not taken. And 10 of Cups. In a weird way, I know they're waving high at the rainbow, like, oh, look at this rainbow. In a weird way, it's like, I'm seeing waving goodbye. I'm not saying you're like leaving a happy family, etc., but this is kind of a theme across the board for people. It's like, what worked in the past is not working anymore. And I'm not saying you're giving up a beautiful thing if you have that, but something about it has to change. And you're waiting for that wheel to kind of push you into the next phase. So you're not saying goodbye to the family, joy, etc. part. You're saying goodbye to that phase. Does that make sense? Like, you're not... And the 4 of Cups reversed, you're dumping out any kind of preconceived notions, any kind of disappointment. If you were accepting stuff that wasn't conducive to you, it's like, and that might be difficult to do. I mean, letting people down easy, it is not easy. Making up, your boundaries and what you will and won't accept, delivering that news to people can be kind of difficult. But the Knight of Wands, there's a strength to it that's like, yes, we're taking action. Like, you might have, I'm going to put this out there. You might have drawn the boundaries and you might have been like, no, I am not accepting this. No. And then you hear like the record scratch because like the wheel hasn't turned and you're like, I timed that poorly. And now you're just like sitting there staring at each other. Like, oh yeah, remember the boundary? Yeah, we're not moving ahead right now. It's like when you think you're on a Ferris wheel and you think you're going to keep moving and then the thing just keeps like stopping and then moving and stopping. It's kind of like that vibe. So, 9 of Pentacles reversed. I feel like there needs to be a reevaluation of what you have. Also, there's an element of like, you're not doing this alone. Like, you can't do it alone. There's an element of independence where, that being reversed, it's like you do need to depend on other people. You do need those 10 of Cups people that are dancing around to maybe help with this action. There's also a need to maybe be, I'm not saying you're ungrateful, but, being grateful for, I say like the attitude of gratitude, framing it as like, thank you for the opportunity for me to know that I don't like you. thank you for showing me the kind of person you are. You know, like, it's that kind of thing. It's how you frame it. Page of Wands. There is this baby step forward. Once you get a handle on this, I feel like, you know, you might have come on with, or somebody did, I'm not saying you, might have come on with a little too much force, but it didn't bring about the change you needed. So there's a gentleness to push this forward. You're not ready to leave it yet. Six of Swords reversed, but you are freeing yourself up. Like, whatever it is, you're not, Elvis hasn't left the building, but like, you know, he's also not stuck in the building, because the clarity comes. I feel like it finally, this is a lot of swords. It's a lot of in the brain. A lot of mental gymnastics you've been doing, Pisces. Because Temperance reversed. There is some kind of balance that still needs to be had, be created. You need to kind of let go. Four of Pentacles is the holding on. I hold on, it doesn't change. You could be getting clarity about what in your life you're holding on to that doesn't allow the balance. And that way you can start moving that way. Remember I said the attitude of gratitude business? You know, you kind of have to just take those baby steps. Actually, give me one on this Page of Wands here. Seven of Wands reversed. I think you can't have... boundaries are fine, but you can't be combative about those boundaries. You have to kind of loosen it up a little bit, because you have Six of Cups. You know it's all there. You know that there's good stuff. You know, like, your past is not all crumb bum. Five of Wands reversed. Four of Swords reversed. You have to come out of this. Any kind of conflict, any kind of getting your back up. I'm not saying you're combative or negative. It's more so like, it's almost reactionary is what I'm feeling. Like, you know, some kind of conditioning where you're like, well, now I have to, like, defend. Now I have to, it's like an automatic response. And I think you have to kind of figure out when it's warranted and when you need to kind of, like, back off of that a little bit. Like I said, you're getting clarity about what the balance is. And I think that'll be good for you. And like I said, we're talking about a week. Like, you know, this is like little bits and pieces to make a bigger picture. So if that's what you do this week, you know, you're probably going to be moving forward doing something cool next week. You know what I mean? Ebbs and flows. So we have the postcard deck, and I usually don't use this because the corners are sharp and they hurt my hands, but it wants to be petty. Let's see, what do we want to be petty about? Like, it was like, it just wants to give gossip. So what is it about? What can we tell Pisces? Six of Swords. And High Priestess. And Four of Cups, Knight of Cups. Somebody is trying to scooch away or avoid something that they know is going to disappoint you. And they don't want to do it. And I'm not saying this is like, you know, they were stepping out on a relationship or anything like dire like that. You know, they might have eaten the last of the ice cream and not told you. You know what I mean? And then you're like, I don't know who did that. The dog did it. Or, you know, like, no, he didn't. So this High Priestess, what is going on? Somebody doesn't want to let you down. Eight of Swords. Oh, well, they're putting themselves through their paces over it. At least you can, I almost said take joy in that, but you know what I mean. You can be like, they're doing it to themselves. Six of Swords, what are they trying to scooch away from? The Hermit. Oh, yeah, they really are like backing out of the room. All right, and that was the Page of Pentacles. It didn't want to go. But the Fool. I feel like, well, on to other things now. Because what are they concerned about with this? Seven of Cups reversed. I think, go with me on this. And I'm not saying this, you know, in a negative way. But somebody doesn't want their perception of them upset like your perception of whatever this is. They don't want you to get like this sudden clarity and be like, oh wow, this is what I was dealing with. So I feel like they're like, oh, if they find out I'm really like this, if they find out, and I'm not saying that's, you know, they're like, you know, Dexter or like, you know what I mean? Or something along those lines. Like it's a deep, dark secret. They could just be really insecure. That they're like, oh my gosh, if they knew the real me, if they knew like how I saw myself, would Pisces want to stick around? So, Magician. My only concern with that is like just make sure that whatever version you're getting is as close to the real thing as you can. Because there's a touch of manipulation with this. And Three of Pentacles. But it's almost like they're honestly stupid. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a Pisces and you've made it that far with a person, Pisces isn't going to bail. Like, they're not like that. You know? I mean, they're like one of the most ride or dies. You know? And then it's like, wait, you'll work with it? You'll still want to, you know, collaborate with me? What? There is that kind of like, you're kidding, right? So what is this person with the Fool? Like, they want things to keep going. King of Pentacles. I just feel like they want you to see them as like strong and, you know, in control and capable, when in actuality, deep down, they're like, I am a sham. So someone has that vibe to them, and, you know, you kind of have your own stuff to work on about letting your own boundaries down, about letting things in, but also, like, you can only put the like the oxygen mask on yourself first. You can only put the life vest on yourself first. So this person, if they are trying to draw you into like, I'm so dumb, like, and you just like, you know, they want you to tell them they look pretty or whatever it may be. No, you are smart. Like, no, like you kind of don't have time for it right now, Pisces. So maybe this week this person has to kind of, you know, get their own act together. Because you're looking for your balance. You're getting clarity on your balance. You're saying goodbye to old phases and welcome to the new. You're not applying too much pressure. You're applying just the right amount of force to move forward. And just scooching it on. Like moving the needle slightly. Getting ahead of it for yourself. Okay? So you can't bolster up other people when you have your own stuff to do. You can nurture, but like you can't hold hands all the time. So we got the Cosmic Pep Talk deck. This is the crystal deck. What can Pisces keep in mind for this week? 1, 2, and 3. Okay. We have Obsidian. And I say that because of that protective quality to it, where it's like, I always think of Wonder Woman's bracelets, where she's like, pew, 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 pew. So we have Obsidian. Truth, reveal, grounding, and process. Signifies that the truth of a situation will soon be revealed. Look within yourself. Do you already know the answer? You probably do, Pisces, because you don't just swim around in there with the fishums, you know, for nothing. You got an intuitive vibe about you. So, Pisces, that's what I have for this week, and I'll talk to you later.